Thank you everyone for joining our second SSV community call, which is awesome. This is a very special one because we're actually announcing the testnet, the official testnet for SSV. That's something we've been working towards for quite a while now, and so we're very excited to make it happen to this long time. And of course, nothing is perfect. We have a lot of work still and a lot of issues, but all in all, we're very excited to be here, and especially be here with a bunch of great partners to launch the testnet. And I think that says more about you guys than anything about this community. And so I wanted to go through a quick presentation, as always, and do another. We'll do another demo for anyone who didn't see that yet. Hopefully, that will spark a lot of people to join in and run a validator, or if they are more courageous, maybe also run an SSV node, and that way support the network. And so let me share my screen, and as always, if anyone has any questions, please don't hesitate and let me know if you have any, and I'll be more than happy to stop and give you a chance to ask. Right, so let me know if you guys see my screen or not.
Black right now.
Yeah, the slides are on.
There it is.
Perfect. So second community call, big testnet launch. I'm very happy about it, and so we'll cover a few things. We'll start with, again, I want to give stage and shout out to the partners who joined us, because that's really what this whole testnet is about. Go over what we're trying to achieve in doing the testnet, and of course what we still need to do, a demo, and also take a look at a new website, because we literally uploaded it a few minutes ago, so we're very proud about it. So a lot of graphical works here, but congrats everyone, and I'll dive right in. So I want to start with the people who helped us during the last 2 or 3 weeks. The testnet has been running for 2 or 3 weeks now, and those partners helped us to kind of fix a lot of issues and stability issues. We still have them. There's still some edge cases and things we need to learn. But all in all, we're moving pretty fast, and we're trying to release 1 or 2 versions a week, and hopefully each one is better than the previous one. So I just wanted to kind of note the different operators we have, and the different partners, and so maybe we'll start even with kind of a quick hi from everyone. Kind of introduce yourself and say from which company you are from. There are others which are not necessarily the operators, but everyone here helped us along the way. And so yeah, let's start. Yurik.
Sure. Yorick with Crypto Manufaktur. I've been active in the Ethereum community for about a year now, and I'm stoked to be part of this effort here.
Awesome. Lior.
Yeah, hi, I'm Lior. I'm CEO in Blocks. Yeah, and really happy to work on it.
Thomas.
Hey, I'm from Skills.
Awesome. Can't see who's next. Patrick, I think.
No, hi, I'm Patrick from Bitfly. We run Beacon Chain. I'm glad to be here.
Perfect. JK, is that you? I don't see the names.
Vlad. Yeah, hello everyone. So thanks for having us here. So we're at Everstake. So we basically in staking as a service platform. We currently operate in multiple blockchains, and we've joined the Testnet for blocks. And I think primarily we want to first of all support the network. And since we have over 300,000 customers right now, I think we can definitely support with the community, and also we have a strong marketing team, so we would definitely utilize those resources to help the project as well.
Awesome. Ben?
Hi, Ben from Consensus. I am product owner of the Teku ETH2 client. We don't yet appear on this list, but we are going to have some discussions with blocks and see where it goes.
Perfect. Zuri?
It's Yufei. It's my daughter's name on
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I work for Luca.
Perfect.
I'm very glad Luca is joining the family.
Perfect. Lucas?
Hey everyone, this is Lucas from Foundry. I've been excited to be on the testnet and from public launch.
Great. Dimitri?
Hey everyone, Dimitri from Stakewise. We are an ETH2 liquid staking protocol. It's great to be part of the testnet.
Thank you guys. Kirill as well?
Yeah, hi everyone. Glad to be here with you on the call. Also part of Stakewise, excited to be participating in this testnet.
Pratek, I hope I pronounced the name right.
Francisco. Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Francisco from Stakely.io, and glad to be here and be part of the testnet.
Awesome. Brendan?
Hey all, this is Brendan Singh from the Luca team, same as Yufei. Nice to meet everybody.
Awesome. Dankred?
Hi, this is Stankat from ETH2 Research at the Ethereum Foundation.
Did I miss anyone, skip anyone? Please feel free to jump in if I did. All right, great. So thank you everyone. I just wanted to kind of again, big shout out to the operators that joined the testnet. You guys are definitely the bedrock of what we're doing, and extremely helpful in shaping both the code and the node, and of course afterwards the entire network. So a special thanks for everyone. A really quick walkthrough or SSV in a nutshell. I know most of you guys know that, but so SSV actually started out with Dankred, and the idea was to really find a way to distribute the operations of a validator on Ethereum, doing so basically conjoins two different technologies. One is threshold signatures, and the other one is BFT protocol or consensus protocol. In our case, is the Istanbul BFT protocol. And together, what they do is they coordinate between trustless node operators to come to a consensus on what to sign. And then each one of them signs it, and they reconstruct the signatures and can broadcast that to the Bitcoin chain. And there's a lot of, I think, a lot of value, both known, but also I think a lot we can unpack during development that can, I think, can really help the Ethereum community at large. I think there's a lot of limitations in current staking infrastructures, and I think SSV can solve some of the issues. And so that's really SSV in a nutshell. And the testnet itself is first of all, as we mentioned, it's live for 2 weeks or even more so. We launched it very quietly because we wanted a few weeks to solve at least the big kind of stability issues. We haven't got to all of them, but we did manage to fix some of them, and we'll continue to do so, hopefully iterating at least with 1 or 2 versions a week. And in parallel, we also did a lot of work on getting SSV to be friendly and kind of less scary. And so we did 2 things. One is it's a simple web app where both SSV node operators and validators can go to and use the network. Especially validators can very easily set up a validator. Obviously, we're in testnet using Praetor, but can very easily set up a validator with a simple web app. And also we made an explorer to kind of give transparency into the network. There's still a lot of work to do for and in the explorer, but for now it shows the relation or the assignments between validators on the network and which operators are assigned to them. And we're working now on actually getting protocol level states and messages into the explorer, so we can actually figure out who is doing what. So if, for example, there's an issue and something doesn't work right, we can go to the explorer and find out what happened, which operator sent what message, and so on. So there's a lot of work we've put into that, and of course a lot of work in stability and so on. And so that's a big chunk of work we did, but there's a lot we still need to do. And so I wanted to kind of give a few bullet points of the considerations, or at least the things to consider on the testnet. One is obviously we are under very heavy development, very heavy development. It goes without saying, SSV is not mainnet ready. It might appear so, or might appear working, but it's not. It's not mainnet ready, that is. One of the big things we'll need to work on, and we kind of started to contact the big node implementers, is we currently use a makeshift signer within the SSV node. It's basically a placeholder. It doesn't have any slashing protection, nothing. One of the big things we'll need to do is actually get the signer outside the SSV node and hopefully use existing implementations out there. And so that's another consideration to take to think about. For example, you could get yourself slashed if you do a few things wrong. When of course in a production ready setup of SSV, that won't happen because you'll have slashing protection built into the signers themselves. Another thing to consider is that we haven't tested yet for really big scale. I think the biggest amount of validators on a single node we had was about 70, and so definitely we'll need to go over and figure how to optimize for larger numbers. We currently support only 4 operators per validator. That's hard-coded. We'll test out and increase that number. Of course, SSV can support more, so any 3F+1 combination should work up until probably a certain level in the tens of operators. And we currently only support attestations. We really wanted to go out with proposals as well, but we kind of shifted towards stability work instead of extending the amount of duty types we support. It shouldn't be too much of a work to add proposals and aggregations, but that's another consideration to take. Of course, none of the validators on SSV will show executed the proposals. And so even though we had done a lot, I really wanted to emphasize that there's still a lot of work going in. We did a bunch of the work, but as you all know, it's the 80-20 ratio, right? So, but all things considered, I think that SSV made a tremendous leap the past 6 months, and so we'll keep on pushing forward. And hopefully, again, with the help of our SSV operators and other people on the network, the only way to get better is really to have you guys join and kind of float around the issues and so And so, by the way, any questions?
One comment, if I can.
Yeah.
For those people watching, I'll just say, with the hundreds and thousands of validators, come hug us. Give us the hug of death. This is what Testnet is all about.
Yeah, definitely. The more issues we'll get on Testnet, the better we can get before mainnet. And so, yeah, I totally connect to what Yurik just mentioned. Anything else before we jump to the demo? Awesome. So I'll switch my screen over to the demo. Can everyone see?
Yep.
Perfect. So so first I wanted to really kind of brag with our new website. We literally uploaded it 3 minutes ago. One of the reasons why is because this is the first time we actually have links to the actual Testnet apps. So I'm very, very proud. You can go in and check it for yourself. But the important part is the become a staker button. It's basically points us to our web app. This is what most people will see. Of course, there's two ways to interact with the network. You can do it via web app, and you can do it programmatically as well. For our purposes, of course, we'll do it here. And so you have two paths, and we'll cover them afterwards. But if you are an operator and you're running an SSV node, it's pretty easy to run it, and then you simply need to register so the network participants can know you exist and select you as an operator. And if you are a validator, it's pretty simple as well. We support the key store files you get from the Launchpad, and so you can simply select one. I have a bunch of them here. All of them are already deposited. I know this one is not used, so you simply select a key store file, put in the very sophisticated password, and give it a few seconds, and basically this is the last screen. You can now select the operators, and so what we try to do here is, first of all, it shows all of the operators. You'll notice that some of them are verified and some are not. For the purposes of the testnet, verified means that we know the operator, and we know that that operator kind of made a promise, a non-binding promise, but a promise nonetheless to keep their node up and running and update it to the latest versions and so on. And so it will just make easier for people coming in to select those operators because they know they're online and they just work. And so you can, as we mentioned, we can select 4 of them. I'll choose Yurik. I'll choose whoever. Stake, and who's the last one? Foundry, let's say. And the next screen is just, you understand that, if this node this validator runs already, you'll get slashed, and of course it doesn't. And that's it. We basically broadcast a transaction to the Ethereum network with the encrypted shares for each one of the operators. And once the transaction clears, the operators themselves, the nodes, pick up the shares and basically start coordinating for the next available duty they have. I'm not sure we'll have time to wait 6 minutes, but generally speaking, it works automatically. That's basically the journey a user has that wants to test out the SSV network. For example, if we have somebody who wants to run several validators, they can do so programmatically as well, and hopefully we'll get very fast to a point where we already have staking services, pools, and so on integrate and start testing it out, how it will look like. And so so the transaction cleared. We can actually see that on the Explorer. This is our Explorer. It shows the actual validator and the operators assigned to it. And later on, we'll actually see much more details. We'll have dedicated operator pages. We'll have much more details in terms of the history and messages being sent for a specific validator and so on. And so there's a lot of work in making this more transparent and more understandable. But that's basically it for a validator to run. And for an operator, it's just a matter of running the SSV node and then registering on the same website. Any comments, questions, anyone?
Just a couple comments maybe for people watching if they're going through this. You might be very, very familiar with this, in which case, good for you. But if you're not, so this validator, that's the thing that's backed by 32 girly ETH here, worth 0. The SStaker Discord can help you with getting the girly ETH, because that's a little hard to get right now. And it's just like running a validator anywhere, just you don't have to run your own infrastructure. So us node operators, we run the consensus client. For example, I've got a Techo and a Lighthouse running in the backend. And then we run the execution client like a Geth, and we run this SSV node. And then each one of us gets a fourth, and none of us can screw up and slash you. That's that it, Alan? About right?
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get to a point where you can actually select more than 4. And that will be very interesting to see. I think that depends on the use case, but you know, if you are a DIY staker and you have 1 or 2 maybe validators, maybe 4 is a good number for you in terms of operators per validator. If you're a bigger staking service, for example, you might want to choose more just as precaution. The same way you configure your cloud provider, for example, right? If you are running something very small and home-like, you'll maybe choose less powerful servers and so on, and pay less. And if you are a big service, you might choose higher end infrastructure. The same way goes here. And it will be very interesting to see the kind of what people pick and how they configure it. Kind of if I need to go maybe even more into the future, I'll say that this very much can be also divided for each operator by regions and so on. So an operator can offer a database in the US, in Europe, in Asia, and so on, and users can come and pick up those data centers to further configure and further decentralize maybe or diversify their configurations. And you know, you can even take it a step forward and choose the technology stack each operator uses, beacon implementation, and so on. I think that that's, you know, if we're aiming for an infrastructure like network, I think that's crucial. I think that giving the options for people to configure what they need is crucial. And that's definitely something we want to accomplish.
Hey, Lund, there are a couple of questions coming in from the community. I'm trying to be selective, but I'll just go ahead and read one of them. So, can the SSV web app be run locally via npm yam if we don't want to put our key store password into a remote site?
Yeah, I mean, maybe Lior can expand on that, but I mean, at the back end, the data you see here is pulled from the graph, and so that's you know, that's something anyone can run. And other than that, there's not a lot of logic here. We do have an exporter package in the GitHub. And so the exporter, what it does is it basically fetches or parses data from both the SSV network and the contracts. And basically all of the data you see here is parsed from the contracts, and later data that will come here you'll see parsed from the network itself. And so, you know, you need to set up that as well. But other than that, there's you know, you can run it locally. You know, open source and everything. Well, you know, if anyone wants to do that, we can definitely help out with it. Give us a ping on our Discord.
Yeah, it might actually be. It's an interesting question. I like it. Yeah, so the question was about, can I run this website and have it be in my browser so I don't have to put in my key store and password, right? To begin with, it might actually be easier to use the CLI tools that are also available. But yeah, definitely interesting question. Like, can I run this locally and then connect to MetaMask, which obviously isn't local, but can I run just a bit that splits the key? Can I run that locally Yeah.
Right. So maybe I've answered probably the wrong question. So yeah, the answer is yes. I mean, I think that most people, what they'll do is use the CLI in their own setup. That is, if if they use an offline computer or a specific setup for managing their keys, then you can do that. There's nothing needs to be online for creating and also encrypting the shares. And so yeah, that's again, if there's anyone who wants to try it out, we'll be more than happy to try and solve any issues they face along the way. But yeah, there's nothing requiring you to be connected online other than just broadcasting the the actual transaction with the encrypted shares. Any other comments, questions? Okay, cool. So I'll go back to our presentation. Cool. Right. So so you saw the flow, and I just wanted to kind of maybe go through it and kind of explain what happened beneath the surface. So in terms of a user flow, of course, we used the web app. What we did was we took a validator's secret key, which you can generate on Launchpad or the official Launchpad or any other key generation method you'd like, as long as the key itself is valid. And what we did was we split that key into shares using Shamir secret sharing. And we encrypted each one of those shares with the public key of the operator, the assigned operator, or the selected operator. That's why operators need to register on the smart contract so they can upload their encryption public key. And so once we encrypted it, we actually broadcasted the encrypted shares into the SSV network, or basically the smart contract. But then from the smart contract, the nodes themselves picked up every single one of the relevant shares. I would add that as of now, there's literally no verification for the shares and anything. One of the things we'll need to do is definitely run local validations on the key, reconstruction of the validation of the actual keys and shares, and do some kind of a dispute mechanism for if somebody tries to upload an invalid share or so on and so forth. So that's not implemented just yet, but that's definitely something we'll need to do. And so that's basically the user flow. So anything up until the arrow pointing to the SSV network, all of that can happen offline completely, and with whatever security configuration you might choose, and of course then broadcasting it to the actual network. And in terms of the operator flow, then the operator does basically runs the SSV node. It's should be very simple. We worked a lot on the documentation, so hopefully that will guide everyone fast to actually run an SSV node. They register themselves both in terms of their admin key, encryption key, and a name. We'll expand and improve that later on. And once they do that, they basically stand by for anyone to select them and start using their nodes to actually test and so on and so forth. So that's the operator flow. Any questions? Nope. And yeah, I mean, in terms of KPIs, that's actually from the last time we our last community call. Definitely get to very high attestation rates and effectiveness. Once we get slashing protection built into the signer, there shouldn't be any slashings, of course. And a lot of the work we putting now is really to onboard new SSV operators, and now of course get more people involved with running at validators, so we can test out and flush out issues we have. And of course, again, going back to kind of one of the first slides, it's very much under heavy development, and so all of the feedback we're getting, all of the issues we're getting, that enables us to really improve that and make it work well. So that's in terms of the kind of the KPIs. how long will be the testnet is undetermined yet. I mean, I think that we want to get to a point where we feel very confident about, first of all, testing out everything, but also just the quality of everything. So we are, so there's no like hard limit on the testnet itself. And yeah, I mean, kind of last few words. If you want to join as an operator, please let us know, or validator, please let us know. And if you know of anyone who might want to join, please let us know. And of course, education, I think, is a big part of the success of SSV. So please use us for any education and community work. We'll be more than happy to help and participate and so on. And of course, we'll do the same for our community. And anyone who's yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, anyone who's following our POP codes will have that at the end. But I think we have a couple of more questions for the community. Adam?
Yeah, so we have a couple of questions. Obviously, everyone on the call, you're more than welcome to ask anything if anything is left unanswered. I'll start with becoming an operator. So a lot of people are interested in knowing, can anyone become an operator? Generally, what is the process you should undergo to become an operator?
So anyone can become an operator. You don't need to ask permission from anyone. Just run the node, register yourself on the contracts. If you do want to be listed on the verified operators, so and be on the top of the list, just talk with us and we'll ask a few questions, and just to understand that you can commit to have their node running 24/7 and update to the latest versions. And that's about it. There's not a lot more to it. I would say that we're working or thinking about an incentivized testnet to really get a lot of people involved. And one of the things that we'll do in that is maybe have more stringent kind of conditions to becoming a verified operator. And so for now, it's pretty simple. Maybe later on it will get a bit more complicated, but other than that, yeah, I mean, if you don't care about being verified, you can do that without talking to anyone. It's completely open. If you want to get verified, contact us and we'll see.
All right, so one more question is, there's an interesting question coming from Dan from the community, and he's asking, what if I want to become a private operator? So split my own keys and use SSV to stake, but I want to provide any services as an operator to any third party, to any other stakers.
Yeah, so we could, it's a question a few asked us about being private operators. We don't have that feature quite yet, but it shouldn't be too much of a difficulty to do that. And the process is the same. You'll simply need to run at least 4 nodes yourself. And once we have that feature, you could maybe with a click of a button just say you're private and you don't want to share your validators with anyone. So that's pretty simple. I would say that part of the strength of SSV is really to distribute the control to others. You can have hybrid configurations where, for example, you hold two SSV nodes and you select 2 other operator SSV nodes. In that way, you could dramatically reduce your vulnerability, because if you're holding all the keys and you get hacked or you do something wrong, you're still facing a lot of the slashing complexities. If you delegate to other operators, then you reduce that significantly. So I would definitely encourage people to think about, if they want to be very, very strict about it, think about those hybrid configurations. Personally, I would probably go with delegating to 7 or 10 operators. I think that's definitely the sweet spot, and I think that it outweighs any sacrifice in terms of not controlling 100% of everything. But it does decentralize or distribute the operations of your validator. And I think for 7 or 10 operators, that's pretty powerful. So it's very configurable. So you can do you can do all of the three options I've mentioned.
So I should actually know this, and I don't. When I have 7, can there be 2 down or 1 down at that point?
Yeah, you can have 2 down. So the rule is SSV is live, or it has liveliness built up until F faulty node. So if you select 3F plus 1, so and for example F equals 1, so you have 4 nodes. One of them can be faulty. If F equals 2, then you have 7 nodes, and then the faulty ones can be 2, and so on and so forth.
Got it. Right. So for people watching and that question regarding should I split, is this safe? If you have 7 nodes, then 5 of the operators would need to get breached and that key reconstituted, the encrypted bits reconnected just in order to slash someone. That's a tall order.
Yeah, especially if you compare it to the current setups where you basically have a single point of failure, right? Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I think I mean, done right and selecting the suitable operators is key here. Yeah, but I think that it drastically removes a lot of the risks, and also it's better performance. You have more redundancy and so on.
In a good way, not in a we're getting ourselves slashed because we're over rotating on redundancy way.
Yeah. No, in a very good way. Yeah. Any other questions?
There are a couple of last questions from the community. Just bundle them together. So one is, can existing peer-mount validators onboard into the network, import into the network?
Prater. This is 100% Prater.
Correct. So you already have that answered.
However, can existing Prater validators come in? Yes, you can. Just
so
make sure it's a move, right? So make sure that you shut down the old thing, make sure it can't come back up, wait 10 minutes, then import. Otherwise, you're going to slash yourself if you run in 2 bits.
Yes, exactly. That'll be the way to go. So that's one question. Second question is, when do we expect everything to actually go live on mainnet? Do we have a guesstimate?
That's a hard question. No, we don't get a guesstimate yet. I mean, we still need to do work and get more comfortable and confident. I think that the one thing that can accelerate everything is if we have more and more people join and give us feedback. I'll give a perfect example, right? So, of course, before we launched the testnet, we had multiple validators running on our own staging environment. They were separate data centers and so on. It worked perfectly, but all of a sudden, as every software developer knows, once other people use your software, there's an array of issues coming up which we didn't have before, and so that's the biggest advancement you can make when you manage to squash those issues one by one. So the biggest thing that can accelerate going mainnet is really getting to a point where it's very, very well tested. We don't necessarily change the spec. We simply iterate on the implementation, and so I think that the best thing that can happen is just more people using it, more feedback, and more community involvement. And I think once everyone feels comfortable, we can go out. I don't have an estimation yet.
Yeah, I'll just say yes. So watching this as a node operator and going on this journey, there's so many things I want to see before I think this mainnet ready. Things like, as a staker, I want to be able to say, oh, I don't like these guys anymore. I want to take away their portion of the key and give it to someone else, right? That's really key. We need a way to see how well a node is doing, how full it is. We probably need a limit. We need to know, is it 2,000? Is it 1,000? And then just say this node is full, choose another,
Yeah, I agree.
Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of work involved in it. Yeah. But we're moving fast. I mean, first of all, we're expanding the team that works on the SSV code. That's one thing, and we try to do very rapid iterations, and so we want to get as fast as we can make the nodes very stable, and from that it will be much easier to introduce new things into the protocol. We don't have stability on the level we want just yet. There's still a lot of issues. So for example, we're battling with syncing issues between the nodes in certain cases, and so yeah, we need to get the basics right and working very, very well, and then I think we'll be more comfortable starting to project towards maybe another testnet with the different tokenomics and after that mainnet, but that's very difficult to say right now.
So let me ask a question as well. When's the next community call?
I mean, I think the last one was about a month ago. I think, I mean, unless there's people want it to be more frequent, I think once a month is good enough. So we have, suitable times between and can, report advancements and so on. If people want more, like once, maybe twice a month, we can do that as well. But I think once a month is pretty good.
Awesome. Right, so a couple more comments for me. The actual validator that Alon presented started to test. So we're going to share the link over on our Discord. If anyone's interested, you're welcome to check it out in our Explorer. And a second thing that I wanted to mention is that we're going to start receiving an influx of actual users. So Yurik mentioned the hug of death. Which is an important process for us, actually becoming a strong network and racing towards mainnet. We do encourage all operators to coming to our Discord. We are marking all of the operators as such in our Discord, and I assume that different validators, different stakers in the network will try to contact you to understand more about your service or to alert you about issues with your nodes. So it's super important for us to actually get that engagement and direct feedback from the community. There's only so much we can do if there's a specific issue with a specific operator. So we'll share a link for everyone to log into our Discord and start integrating and engaging with the community and the stakers themselves.
Yeah, that's very important. I think that if part of the deal is that people feel comfortable that they get answers. So yeah, definitely an important part. Awesome. So anyone who's watching and waiting for the code, here it is. Go claim your popes. And if there's nothing else, a lot of guys, really a ton of thanks to everyone. It's been quite a ride, and we're already getting started in terms of the testnet. But really, a lot of thanks for taking the time and just being there for feedback and so on. So thank you a lot.